So, Battlefield 2042 received a new update. I already read through it, but still wanted to talk about it for a video, because there's some things I want to say. Let's just get to reading this. So, as you see here, we have the journey to Season 1. Patiently waited to hear from us on what we're doing to address the issues with 2042 that you have told us about, and direction you can expect to see us take in the months ahead. Today we are starting our team's commitment to bring the game up to the highest standards that we all hold for the franchise. So to put it simply, in the rest of these paragraphs right here, they're just going over how they're addressing feedback and such, with some very, very basic additions to the game, which you would expect in this sort of game 20 years ago. But let's read some of this, why don't we? So to start things off as brilliantly as possible, they introduce things with a scoreboard update. In our next update, we'll be adding a refreshed in-round scoreboard alongside further changes we've worked on since the holidays. This will be an ongoing evolution from what was shown in the work in progress we shared recently. We have heard your feedback, including 2 tables and separating your own team versus the enemy, and I'm working on incorporating that for the release. KD scoring and end-of-round reporting will also be coming in a future update. This is standard shit in a fucking multiplayer game. Anyways, all platform voice communication. I can't even read this properly. The arrival of voice communication is just the start of improvements we're bringing to enhance team play and communications. This is how you made friends in Halo 3 in 2007. The game's going to be 15 years old this September. Anyways, player profile. Giving you a better overview of your career on the battlefield and how far you have to go for your next unlock. I used to get the biggest dopamine rush from this in Battlefield 4. Anybody remember also when you had an online website profile alongside the in-game profile in Battlefield 4? Anyways, for team play, you can expect us to incorporate a cleaner, tighter squad loop, refined ping system, and an improved reward loop for when you and your squad play the objective. Gunplay will continue to receive feedback-based improvements too. Man, at its core, it's so unsatisfying and unenjoyable. It's just, there's only so much they can do about that. Portal remains an integral part of the game, and we will continue to expand its tools, modes, and tweak player experience gains. Finally, we have a team analyzing specialists and working on them. We're not quite ready to talk about what actions we'll be taking, but as soon as we are, you will hear from us. Who knows what that even means? Maybe this means something more classic, class-based, but still with skins. And as for Portal, I mean, that's the best thing the game's got going for it, so hopefully they can do something with that. No mention of Hazard Zone at all, which, no surprise there, that shit was an absolute flop, and for many, many reasons, which we already know very much about at this point. We don't need to get into that any further. Let's leave that mode in the past, why don't we? A new feedback loop. We're committed to pushing up the quality of the game, both through our updates and how rapidly we will respond to critical issues in the live environment. We're also going to clarify the direction we're taking and what's motivating our decisions to bring improvements to the game. So expect to get more insight as we expand our existing feedback loops to involve you, our players, more directly. We will present specific major focus areas to you alongside with our current thinking detailing where we're planning to make changes. We're almost 3 months into this game since release. December, January, February, since, you start off from November. December would be a full month. It's been about 3 months, 2.5 months at this point. They're just now having us work with them as a community. Anyways, then we'll take the time to observe and listen to the conversations that you want to have about these areas. Then you'll hear from us about the topic again. Man, this shit should have been here from the start. This is how it should have been from the fucking beta. That shit wasn't even a beta. It was a pre-alpha. It was pre-alpha. No, it was pre-alpha times 3. It was quadruple. I just don't have the energy for this fucking game anymore, man. As for why I'm talking about it, aside from views, it's just that as a fan, I still care too much. I still care way too much. It's like a toxic relationship, man. No matter how bad it is, I just can't help but keep coming back for more. And because of the views. Not only just that, it's also because of the passion. Okay? The passion comes first in this instance. And you know what, let me just read the rest of this before getting to what else I want to say. This process will kick off with one of our key focus areas, map design. We want to outline to you our vision for how we're going to approach and factor into our new map enhancements to the gameplay experience. And my phone is ringing as I'm recording. Who is messaging and calling me right now? Anyways, big topics like map design will be loud and broadly shared, but for more nuanced areas of the game such as portal logic, we may have those conversations on smaller scales. The important part here, I can't talk. I just can't talk tonight. The important part here is that all these I was about to say convictions. I feel convicted right now. All these conversations will happen publicly and with everyone invited to take part. Some of these feedback loops will cover bigger areas than others, and some loops will take longer to complete and realize in the game than others. This is not an indication of how we might prioritize issues with the game, but a reflection on the nature of game development. Changes to our maps and core gameplay will take time. This shit needed at least another 3 years of development. And not only am I just tired with this game, I'm just tired in general. I woke up early, and I've been busy as shit today, so yeah, I'm just utilizing what energy I have left, along with what patience I have left. Our commitment is to explain our reasoning behind future decisions and to make sure you understand where we stand on your feedback. We want you to see more of this big picture of where we're going and to incorporate more of what we're already hearing to ensure that our work is meaningful to you. Start this process ahead of the launch of our next update. Looking ahead to Season 1. Season 1 arrives in early summer. That's June. Maybe May if you're pushing it. That's at least 3 months from now. That's over 3 months from now. It will mark the start of a year where we will deliver 4 seasons, 4 new specialists, and new locations along with completely new content. Nothing's being said about content beforehand. Just with what's coming in Season 1. This shit's gonna be over half a year old by this point, bro. We know that this release is later than anticipated for many of you who purchased the Year 1 Pass as part of the Golden Ultimate Editions. Those who purchased that shit spent at least $100. I'm not one of those people. I got the shit through EA Play. I spent $5 and I could only get through 4 hours of the trial. To acknowledge and thank you for your patience and continued support, those players will receive an exclusive bundle containing a specialist skin, weapon and vehicle skins, a melee skin, and player card, all to be delivered in the next update. Let's look at this shit. I gotta admit, that soldier looks cool. That's more of the Battlefield that I know. Although from this angle here, he reminds me of one of the skins from Black Ops 2 for classes. Speaking of classes, remember that? Let's see, they got the Vector here. 44 Magnum? Maybe it's a newer variant of it. Skins. Yeah, other things. And they'll provide more updates on the Twatters. Yeah! So yeah, I'll just be honest here. Why am I not satisfied by this, as you can all clearly tell? Well, it's the fact that this shit is coming out months after the game's release. All these updates and all this community focus, all this listening to feedback shit is happening months after it should have. It should have been a thing before the game released with the beta. I know betas aren't a thing for real anymore. It's all just marketing in the form of unfinished demos. But guys, at least give us a little bit more than this. And yeah, I know what I said about the pandemic being one of the reasons, but it's also just incompetence with management, with communication within the studio, fucking company politics, the usual shit of what you come to expect within the industry. I don't think there's really been anything about crunch, thankfully, but man, look, it's good that they're still putting in the effort, okay? But I stand by what I said in the last video about how there's no saving this game. While I do appreciate the effort, at the same time, it's too little too late. It just is. It's pointless at this point. Put your resources towards the next Battlefield game. Nobody's playing this shit. It's time to move on. It's a waste. And they're having to put out a roadmap for a scoreboard for communication in game. There's more shit here to read on other tabs, so let's just get to that. So according to this IGN article, EA says that Battlefield 2042 did not meet expectations. That's putting it lightly. It's been an ambitious game, according to Andrew Wilson. Remember when he was saying that it was ahead of schedule a year ago? Also, I forgot to mention, but it's good to see that brutal expectations having to do with scoreboards is now being addressed. I just wanted to put that out there real quickly. And of course, working from home, yep. Yep, we know. It's a thing with everything at this point. It's a thing with every fucking game coming out at this point. It's clearly negatively affecting their bottom line. Like... Ha! Ah! I just... Man, if I had a nickel for every time I said I'm tired, I would have the funds. I don't even know what I have the funds for. I can't even think of anything witty. I Through the process of testing and preparation, we believe the experience was ready to be put in our players' hands. What the fuck are you talking about? We launched with strong stability, cap. However, as more players experienced the game, it became clear there were unanticipated performance issues that we would need to address. Some of the design choices we made with the game also did not resonate with everyone in the community. What made you think they would? You realize that by going against what people want and by not pleasing the players, by not giving us what is good for the player, that leads to people being unsatisfied, not wanting to play the game, and therefore in the long run, the game failing and losing out on money, correct? Yes, initially in the short term you may get something, but long-term profit is a whole nother thing. Man, I'm so tired of all this fucking long service battle pass bullshit, trend chasing bullshit. I'm so tired of all of it. Incomplete, unfinished games. Man, it's like with COD right now. Warzone's such a fucking mess that they're like, fuck this shit, we're making a sequel. Warzone 2 is apparently in development. Modern Warfare 2022. All the Battlefield players are probably going to go back to that game. No, they are going back to that game. Or Battlefield 5, one of those two. Maybe 1 or 4 or 3. Bad Company 2! So yeah, going to some of Tom's tweets, as you can see here, it says, notice how they left Hazard Zone out completely at today's Battlefield 2042 announcement, ripped to 300 people that play it. See, that's why I said it, because he said it. Oh look, more NFT shit. I love gaming in 2022. Wow, that's incredible. Sales of 2042 were disappointing. There was 4.23 million players total, including the trial on Thanksgiving, which was 1 week after global launch. Guess what? It's not 1 week anymore. It's months now! Ha! Such a funny joke. These motherfuckers didn't even give sale numbers. My god. Hey, at least EA's not into NFTs in the metaverse. You know, all that bullshit. So their priorities aren't completely fucked. Well, for what we think. So we think. You know what? While we're here, let's look at some fucking Infinite shit. Yeah, these guys, they're giving us a roadmap for Infinite now, and how... actually, they already gave us one. Just saying that we still haven't gotten a co-op and Forge update like we were promised in January. I forgot about that. But I guess the point here, which I'm going to reiterate for the 100,000th time in videos as of late. The current state of gaming is fucking unacceptable. It's so frustrating. All these games coming out fucked up and broken. And for what I saw, 343 gave a condescending response to the lack of content. And there's been shit going on with new cosmetic pieces being off with how it looks on helmets and such. Which, look, at this point in time, you're no place to get away with making condescending remarks when it comes to your games. You've done some good things, don't get me wrong, but let's not forget the amount of fuck-ups you as a studio have made since 2011, from Halo Comedy Evolved Anniversary, all the way to where we are now, with Halo Infinite. You have no excuse to be making those sort of remarks. Until you can do a better job with your games, maybe just don't fucking do that. It just comes off as disrespectful to the consumer, and it's not even a sensitivity thing. It's just a really sort of thing. It's just like fucking really. Of course, you're gonna have all the fanboys saying that, oh, you're being entitled. Yeah, being entitled for a product that's supposed to be a complete AAA launch title. And in the case of Infinite, it being free is not an excuse. For one, nobody asked for the game to be free, and two, it's a Halo game, a AAA game, and the first one in over 6 years as a part of a 20-plus year-long on-running series. There is no excuse. Delay the shit if it's not ready. And that's another thing I want to say real quickly. While I do think that all in all, Microsoft acquiring Activision is a good thing, something I'm worried about is this sort of shit going to be happening with all of Activision's games? Are we going to have more of Infinite Situation, but now with COD? As a way to make up for it no longer being annual, potentially? Are we now going to have the shit being even more complete than it already was at launch? We going to get free Call of Duty, free to play, and there's like 3 modes: Team Deathmatch, Free-for-all, and Kill Confirmed. These videos keep devolving into game industry rants, but I have my reasons. There's more than enough reasons at this point, man. It's just so frustrating. I just want a good brand new game coming out to not be fucking broken or incomplete in some way. Just something. Can just something go right with a brand new game? Can something just please be complete? Can something please work properly as it should? Just once. Please, Dying Light 2, Techland, if you're watching this, please have this ship complete and actually working. Please. You're saying there's 500 hours of content? Can at least 100 hours of that be worth playing? Please. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there. I have nothing else to say. That's gonna be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. I got other things I want to say about gaming, which I'll say for future videos. But that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Later.